From the private correspondence of Sultan Merriweather, dated April 1926. My dearest Davenant, I hope you are very well, and that this missive finds you in good health. The news of the disappearance of your uncle, William, has reached me by the usual channels, and so it is that the Castains once again must face a mystery all too soon following the loss of poor Cal. And yet, my dear Davenant, you and your mother, I know, will not on this occasion be in deep mourning for the loss of the elder man as you were for the younger. Poor, bright, brilliant Cal. I had received word from him of his hopes for the coastal tour and the study of those watercolors that he wished to produce, and when I think of that, his odd and dreadful disappearance hurts all the more. By complete contrast, and I hope you can forgive me the writing of this down in ink, I feel no such concern regarding William. Since you told me of the vicious nature of your uncle, and indeed the solemn and dreadful business of his gruesome fascination with the study of witchcraft, I must confess the news of his disappearance and presumed death almost felt like a relief to me. You yourself are forbidden by propriety and your good nature to speak truly of his awful behavior towards both yourself and your mother. I, however, have no such restraints placed upon me, and I would assure you that you must waste no time in guilt regarding that man's strange and sudden death, or at least vanishing, if that is what we must call it for now. Allow such feelings to be entirely taken up by myself, if you will, in that of your and your kind mother's regards. Perhaps some good has come from the strange business of your uncle's fate, nevertheless. The estate, as you know, was given over to Abel Lockwood's care to oversee, by way of executor, and by chance I happen to have made recent contact with Arabella Lockwood, who you will recall has followed in our own footsteps, in that long tradition of our good families and the study of ancient and modern histories. She is enrolled at Arkham, studying the new science of anthropology, under the excellent tutelage of Dr. Armitage, and I took it upon myself to write to her recommending myself as one looking for work in the assessing of collections and valuation. I know it is a low business, but that is what we Merriweathers must do in these difficult times. She excellently was in turn good enough to put my name forward to Abel Lockwood himself, and, well, by hook or by crook, as the poet Milton puts it, I have found myself a part of the team securing your uncle's assets. I, therefore, have had the strange good fortune of having found a set of carved wooden posts from William's latest venture to Borneo. Their quality, Davenant, is breathtaking, and since they were yet to be declared as either sold or as subject to his will, I have made application to Abel Lockwood that they be provided for the collection at Amherst under your patronage. I confess, of course, this provides me with a very reasonable fee by way of agency, but far more significantly presents you with a crucial jigsaw piece in your pursuit of the study of the Malay, or Kursanese, as you charmingly call it, peninsula. Did I tell you that you were the one who taught me the term Kursanese, as used by those Dutch sailors hundreds of years ago, when they voyaged upon such distant and marvelous seas? As a young man, I would dream of such adventures, picturing myself a pirate or a navy captain, a Van Buren or a Van Diemen of the old Europe, no doubt. But since then I have, as we have discussed, had the good fortune to read John Pentecost's detailed journal on the pursuit and purchase of such shamanic and occult paraphernalia as these remarkable posts. And let me tell you that these finds match that same exquisite craftsmanship that Pentecost writes of, detailing his correspondence with those English buyers that you have made mention of from the Amherst collection. In particular, Tamlin Godswood and Robert Lemuel. You must forgive me for so swiftly making the change in tack towards matters of our shared interest, in the formal pattern of society's response to your uncle at least, but I hope that you understand me. It does so fascinate me, this business, and I have uncovered a little something new upon the matter that I simply could not resist writing to you of, regarding these two curious English gentlemen, who I believe to have been based in the west of England. Godswood you yourself told me of, and introduced me to his curious writings regarding an exchange with Ezekiel Albany in the time of the Great Protectorate. Albany, of course, being a royalist, was at that time extending his eastern plantations, his mood black and his nature that of the disgruntled exile. But Mr. Robert Lemuel I had no understanding of until a few days ago, when his name came up in relation to the traffic of certain Chersonese finds. This Lemuel had shipped via Providence a set of wooden posts, the nature of which was very similar in regard to those your missing and presumed late uncle held in his own collection. The mention was found in, of all things, a collection of letters from Edgar Whately to John Pentecost. Inside one of the envelopes, a letter was found from one Robert Lemuel, son of David Lemuel, of North Kilve, England. It came to me via a man named Wick, who I have found most useful over this last year. Anyway, the body of the text is not concerned with the posts exactly, but in passing does note the following. My man Telah tells me that there were such spells and invocations known to the holy men of those islands that meant that they may call up animal spirits to guide them, overseen by such ancient masters that walked all in death and shadow. Some appeared as women, and others as men, and some as those that walk between such forms. The holy man named them as demons, and yet more so, as made of the earth and air and fire and water themselves, but no mere elemental shapes, but spirits from far beyond. They gifted great magics, and these spells might yet be used to create little spaces between the known world and the next, half-forgotten huts or houses, all shaped out by magics that the holy man might lay down, even in death, where a piece of his soul or spirit may live on and make offer to those who would be guided there. These master spirits or walkers of the shadows would often call in dreams to those who might hear them, reaching out, the wise man said, with hands as pale as death and covered in the gold of the earth in such bands as met the fashion of the day. He said that many knew the old ways in the ancient times, with no fear of land or sea, and that in the name of the great Leviathan and the swollen sow of many litters, such riches could be found. To protect a place made between all places, such wondrous posts must be used, carved with these fantastical figures and with such skill as few now could ever master, as if the artistry of which was gifted the carver from out of time itself. The letter then goes on to consider the discussion of local matters of the time, but I marvel to list the inclusion of such a find at nearly the exact same moment as your bitter uncle's legacy is revealed to you. This Lemuel writing to Pentecost of these wooden posts with fantastical sculptures on. It all seems weirdly fated to me. I hope, Davenant, you do not think it forward of me to write all of this, but I have ever valued your friendship and guidance in the academic matters of these things. Your fine, nimble mind is able to reach further regarding such finds, and I would be most curious to know your thoughts upon the business. On which very point, I must away, as my own dealings force me to end this letter here. The metaphysical and descriptive language of this man Lemuel is really quite remarkable, is it not? I think you will agree. It is almost as if he believes in everything that he writes of this so-called Chersonese gentleman. What a window into the past it is. Forgive my abruptly ending here. Please do give my warmest regards to your mother, and such formal condolences ongoing as you see fit, of course. I rest in this your friend and servant ever, Sultan Merriweather. P.S. I think a visit to Amherst is long overdue. Perhaps we should arrange something for the fall. I would so like that. Ever yours, Merriweather. The Apocalypse Players present As the Waters Cover the Sea, a 7th edition Call of Cthulhu folk horror scenario, written by Joseph Chance. Starring Dominic Allen as Charlie Westenra, Luther Eliot Redmark, and bailiff wife Elise Faravale. Dan Wheeler as Chris Caldwell, Jonathan Tatler, and Gentleman Enforcer of the Excise, Rafe Launceston. Danann McAleer as Max Davenant and Tam Phillips. And our very special guest star, Belinda Cornish as Josephine Arundel, and Felicity Blake, and Joseph Chance as the Keeper of the Arcane Lore. Part 17. Interlude. We join Felicity Blake as she wakes in brushed cotton sheets. Her head is on the pillow.
Where's the rest of her?
Afternoon light, and you can tell. Too good. Her head is on the pillow, and I think it's only appropriate that Danann has invoked that after the journey that Tam Phillips is having with Julia.
Well, exactly. Not again.
Felicity Blake can see afternoon light streaming through the those diaphanous white muslin curtains that at any time feel old-fashioned, no matter how recently they've been put up fresh. And even in the 70s they felt old-fashioned. But in the 70s they take that glow on, because of the cameras. They take that little sort of hazy glow. And also I think it's right that Danann's spoken, because it invokes almost like for a moment a face could be seen in the diaphanous material for Blake. Quite a severe woman's face with a bob. And then it sort of melts away, and there's this lovely spring breeze, a lovely March, fresh but just warm enough breeze. Those lovely rare days we get in March, where the weather turns and it's, the temperature goes up and summer is hinted at. Well, not even hinted at. It feels like summer has arrived. And this breeze is wafting through like a cottage. This is a cottage. You're in a cottage. It's quite a small cottage. Beautiful wooden beams, wattle and daub. You realise that you're completely naked. Your hair's down.
It's not the first time.
It's not the first time.
I've awoken unsure of where I was, with no clothes on.
But on the bed is the book that you were reading. And you remember now, you were reading the book and you fell asleep. And there's your packet of cigarettes there. And thankfully, your cigarette has been put out in the ashtray. In fact, several cigarettes have been put out in the ashtray. There's a glass of something quite strong, whatever the tipple would have been.
Who's
next to the bed.
Contra.
And you can hear a shower running through in the bathroom, and a warm, idiosyncratic voice singing, which we will not make Danann McAleer improvise a song in the shower. But you recognise it's the voice of Tam Phillips.
Probably best to do it later in post.
Do your balls hang low? Can you swing them to and fro? Can you tie them in a knot? Can you tie them in a bow?
And
Fields of Athenry.
Come out, you black and tans. Come out and fight me like a man.
you disappointingly, you can't remember what happened after getting in the car. But you do.
I don't even remember getting in the car.
Well, that bit's coming back to you, that you ran out of the house as the tunnel was flooding. For a crazy moment, you thought the tunnel was flooding with hands with golden rings on, and this woman walked towards you with long dark hair. But then you realised actually the tunnel was flooding and the river seemed to have broken and water was gushing into that underground chamber, and you and Tam had to leave. And you clutched everything that you could and you ran out of that insane room with the mummies and the...
Oh, God, yeah.
A bit of you thinks that maybe you can still hear that. And maybe that changes you in relation to where you are. This sort of lovely... Your body feels satisfied. Your mind feels awake, alert. You must have slept for several hours, at least, which is exactly what you needed. But there's a real question in your mind as to what has happened. You got in the car, your car, and you and Phillips drove away. And then what happened after that? You can't remember. Did you... This isn't your cottage. Maybe it's his? Did you make love? Did you fall asleep? Why would you take all of your clothes off if you didn't? And you can't remember. You don't feel violated. You don't feel inappropriate. You feel very safe, actually. And there's this book in front of you, but then off to the right there's these loose, scattered, old looking, like a really old document, and they're just on the bed.
The first thing I think is a sense of deja vu of the previous night, because this has happened before. Mm. This happened last night.
Yes, it did, didn't it?
This profound loss of memory, the not knowing that I'd gone to a place, but at a certain point, memory just disappeared. Mm. And I find myself once again in a place that is alien, albeit this feels safer than Old Fox, for certain. Mm-mm. But
what's your current Cthulhu mythos? Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's all right. My current mythos is 16.
Mm. So I think you probably have an equivalent Dreamlands of 8. Could you give me a Dreamlands roll?
Mm-hmm.
Sure can. It's a first. That is a fail, and a fail that even Felicity Blake's outrageous amount of luck cannot counter at this point. Would you like to push the roll, or are you happy to let that spin away into the drifts of Kingsport's waves? No, I think I'll push it.
Well, how would you like to push it?
Because I think that's... I think I would like...
Push your finger up your nose until you black out.
Yeah. Just
keep restarting. We could just keep doing this.
I'm gonna...
Yeah, that's great. Amazing.
She just...
Till you touch your brain.
Tickle, tickle.
She just...
Till you touch the pineal gland.
She just smacks her head repeatedly into the bedpost until she passes through. Or just swigs the Cointreau. Actually, that is what I'm going to do.
Cointreau.
I'm going to...
Very persuasive.
Yeah. She is going to... I'm gonna pick up the glass beside the bed and sniff it. And yes, it is Cointreau.
Of course it is.
And despite I'm going to just swig it down with a little bit of a wince, because it is first thing.
Well, it's the afternoon, but it's first thing in the afternoon. We've all been there.
It's first thing in the afternoon.
Whew,
and
good times.
And then lie back, kind of sounds a bit weird.
And think of Carcosa?
But yes. No. That's what she was doing last night. But she's actually just going to turn to one side and just breathe in the scent of the pillow, of the sheets. The scent of sleep.
Lovely.
See if that brings back any memories, anything. And it doesn't. It just doesn't at all.
Man. Or perhaps it does.
Brings back... It just smells a little bit sweaty and very slightly of whatever cologne Tam Phillips wears.
Yeah, and I think... Well, what cologne does Tam Phillips wear?
Brut.
Oh, Lynx Africa. No. Lynx. I don't know, it probably is something like Brute.
Yeah,
Spice.
It probably was.
Or Old Spice.
Gunmetal Storm.
And so I think the scent you get is not that. You don't get the Old Spice Brute classics that you would expect Tam Phillips to wear. You get this kind of really rich rhubarb and bergamot, and there are these initial high notes, or maybe some limes, and then underneath it you get meat and maybe and smoke,
Like raw meat or like barbecue?
cooked meat and smoke.
It's not Tom Ford's best-selling cologne.
It's
one of them.
deeply intense. No, but I think you do get the sense of like this is not a man who drives a Mustang. This is a guy who rides a Mustang.
Oh, nice.
You know.
Very nice. Very nice. Yes.
Good line.
And you go, was that Tam Phillips? Is that Tam Phillips? And I think you get this instinct that it isn't. It just isn't. But then you hear this.
But it sounds like him. It sounds
the
like
guy in
him.
the shower. It's him. It's got to be him. I mean, he's a singer. And I think at that point, the shower stops and the song drops down.
Ooh.
I'm going to get out of bed. Is there anything for me to put on?
Roll luck. I mean, obviously there's the bed sheet.
Yeah, but for actual clothing. That is a hard success.
Yeah. So there's a.
So presumably I get an Armani suit.
A sheep carcass.
There's you can see your clothes scattered across the floor, but right there on the back of the door, which leads obviously into the interior of the cottage elsewhere, you can't quite remember where. There's a robe hanging up. There's a couple of robes. So you can grab that, and your modesty is preserved.
Yes, I will. Are either of them red?
One is red, and the other is blue.
I'll take the red one, and I'll put that on. And as I do, I'll turn back to the bed, and I will gather up the book and the pages.
Tam doesn't come out, and you have these documents in your hand, and you can't remember anything about what you were reading. You know that you must have tried to have opened these things and start reading. Like, you know those times when you open a novel and you think, oh, this is going to be really good.
Yeah.
Spark out. And so, yeah, I would tell you that.
Since... Just trying to think. I'm going to read that first document. I think rather than trying to just, delve into the tome again, I think I'd like to read that first document. Which would be the letter, is that right?
Yes, it's a relatively short letter. It's addressed to Poulton, which of course instantly chimes with the man who you saw dead in the Undercroft of Alfoxton House, floating in his own 0G gravity bubble.
Yes.
With his intestines pulled out. Or certainly ripped somehow, but in a localized way. I'm sure that makes it better.
Sure. Just ripped up into his bubble.
Except the handwriting on this is much older. And then I think that chimes in with those portraits that you saw. So you go,
yes.
Maybe this is a previous portrait.
I know that there's an ancestry here. And I think if, I was always looking for reasoning, that I don't just go, what the hell and who is in the bathroom? I have an awareness, obviously, that there's something extraordinarily peculiar happening, and I think that getting some idea of seeing if these documents can give me any inkling rather, as to what's happening or what I'm encountering will better prepare me for whoever is in the bathroom.
It's me, right? Tell me it's me. Okay. I'm waiting for my big scene.
Excellent.
Okay.
So,
do I have?
Yeah.
Also, just do I have my clutch purse? Because if I do, I would also like to take my Assyrian letter opener out of it and have it to hand.
Excellent suggestion. Yes, you do. You dash over even as you're reading this letter. Mm-hmm. It is from James Cairballet, which is definitely not the name of Elise Cairballet. Not Elise Cairballet, Ellen Cairballet, who you knew. Polton, I write in haste, but leave this with thee in the hope that my life be of value in the knowing, and that the Hyperborean rod be turned counterclockwise thrice,
and that golden disc atop it depressed firmly to enable the passage unto that plateau, whose bleakness defies description, and yet the longing for it does so linger. I was so warned by Tatler, that golden Chersonese, whose advice this statement does so relate, that to place rod and disc together would be the calling up of the guardian of Hyperborea, he of the hammer and anvil, and that none but a great wise one undertake such a thing, for the bargaining of such gods is not to be trifled with. That disc of Hyperborea, Tatler said, might make allowance for a turning back unto time, as the rotation does signify, by way of the symbol of the great tree, the ocean, and the blade with blood. While the rod is known to pierce time as it must, by being known of its stops that the great race might name. Tatler spoke of musics that might be learned by listening, but at the state and edge of great edifices not worth the naming. Best that the rod be used only on this thrice forward and thrice counter method. Forward, and the golden circle atop it depressed once, and the bearer may command nature for a time as long as the rod does turn. Depressed twice, and the bearer may annihilate in that line of its turning for white-hot seconds not worth the thinking of. Such power in the wrong hands is unthinkable. I take it as a warning from the one true God, but leave it unto ye, Polton. Ye shall know the cause and the path. If what ye speak of is true, and those of Morton and North Kilver wish to leave the whispers of the Skeduggenga, then it would be fit that some power is yet in ye to amend it in the Lord's name, and for the King. I rest in this, your servant ever, James Cairballet.
Could you give me an occult roll with a bonus die?
Fucking hell.
Let me see. That is... Ooh, that is a fail, but I'm going to spend 11 luck. Okay, that is now a success.
So it takes you a second or two. You're thinking, I know this Chersonese. Wait, that's an old term used when the Dutch and the British sailors were reaching far beyond in the 15th and 16th centuries what was a known oceanic understanding of the world. They were starting to make inroads to the Far East, and you realize it's Malaysia. It's the Malay Peninsula. Obviously, Hyperborea you are familiar with already. But this Tatler, you don't quite understand. The great race bothers you because you feel like you should understand something about it, but you can't quite see what that is in your mind's eye. But obviously the Shadowgengar it absolutely echoes what the Boar and others were clearly in service of. Enthralled to.
And which I am now.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah. But Tam Phillips still hasn't come out, and this afternoon light is sort of fresh and easy, and the cigarettes are there, and the buzz of the Cointreau is
pleasant.
In fact, you can see the Cointreau. The Cointreau is on the. The Cointreau is on the. There's an old Welsh dresser in the corner, but it doesn't have plates on it. It sort of has flowers and it does have a couple of decorative items, and then sat to the right of the flowers is what looks like a pile of human hair around the size of a head.
Right. Do I have memory of the
you're
Sketchugengar?
You're pretty sure you know
is.
what that is in that moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do I see the disc? We took the disc.
You can't see the disc there.
I'm just using it on the toilet.
But
I'll only be a minute.
Okay.
I think maybe.
Sorry, this is a lot. I'm just trying to absorb this lesson a little bit.
Well, I would encourage everyone to try to absorb the letter, because there are reasons why everyone may begin to understand the letter. And so, do not feel alone, Belinda.
No, I am aware that everybody...
But obviously I am, at this point,
Yeah.
I am utilising the famous get the guest star to do the really long prologue. No.
Thanks for your patience, everyone, as I try to think.
But family holds back, Belinda, because we love your work.
FHB.
You know they're all primed, right? You know that, Belinda. They're all primed.
Primed? What do you mean?
What? No, I didn't say that.
Right. I'm just taking a second to look at this one.
Please do.
No, please do.
Are you doing the same?
Yeah. And I even did it in a stupid font, right? Like the old days. Which I think now we promise in the live games, guys, because we're all at least approaching our 50s, or 40s in some cases, lucky bastards. We now do like 12 font size above what we used to.
Easy read.
Because it's always in the bloody dark, and it's always just with torches.
I do a running gag when I open the envelope. That the font isn't big enough, no matter what size the font is.
It's so true. It's so true.
No, I'm a big fan of the old fake script fonts on Word. Yeah. I do them for all my handouts.
It's so enjoyable.
Wait till the next live show, Dan. I'm going to really fuck with you. I'm going to give you a Braille copy.
Wait, I'm getting something. Mate, it's not a cult. It's just, like, blind people aren't weird occultists. Come on.
Tell that to Don't Look Now.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn straight. It's so spooky there, right? Those weird whited out eyes. So essentially you've got some instructions there.
Wait.
Let me assist Belinda and assure her that Felicity Blake totally understands that these are instructions for use of this rod. I mean...
Oh, yes, I had gathered that.
Yeah,
I had gathered that. I'm just trying to kind of see how I feel about it based on what's in there.
Absolutely.
Do I know that Josephine has the rod?
I think you do understand that there is an association with the rod elsewhere. Because
that's not
the
same thing.
I think where you are now, yes, I think what happens there is very clear. A great shadow passes the window, like a great wave, and you hear the shore, and you wonder where you are.
I am going to...
And you feel time's presence pressing on you.
I can't see the disc anywhere. Can I search for it?
It might be in the car.
Oh, you'd like me to go outside, in other words?
But in the meantime, you have this book here.
I do.
And I think as you feel time pressing, you begin to realise that...
It might be a good idea to...
Could you give me a power roll? And if you were to happen to break the barrier of your Cthulhu mythos, mention that.
Ooh.
So 16 or below on a power roll would be very interesting.
Yes, I got a 10.
Well, aren't these the way that the gods work?
Juicy.
Not only do you anchor yourself to realise that this cottage is not entirely real, you get the sensation that it is somehow outside of the flux of time. Something has definitely happened here, but it seems to be a bridging point between worlds, and you realise that this wave outside is the wave of the Great Fen, the Great Plateau. And that just out that door is Josie Arundel, the person who spoke with you, who you were overtaken by at one point, right?
I allowed her in.
You allowed her in, and you get this sort of weird sensation that you could go back that way, but there's this vibration about the book for you.
I think I probably should, again, in the interests of all information, having all information to hand in order to be able to make informed decisions rather than... I think that Felicity Blake has often made rather rash and passionate decisions. Perhaps that they have led her here, to this cottage that is not really a cottage, somewhere suspended in time. And so perhaps it's better to be better informed. So she will take a look at the book.
And maybe just a voice behind you does whisper, and it might help with the story.
Maybe.
There's a mutual benefit to this.
Maybe.
And
there is, and I don't think she's... I mean, I think that's partly what's sort of waylaying any deep terror or anxiety about being here in a cottage that is not a cottage. Suspended in time, or moving relentlessly through time at the same time. In that, it's all... There's a relentless creative journalistic instinct that is... that powers her forward.
Yes. Passion. The drive. There's an untouchable, untamable, unpronounceable hunger.
Untenable. Possibly untenable.
Untenable. I like that. So could you give me either a library use or a literature roll, depending which you would prefer? I don't know which is higher for her.
Let's see. Ooh, it will be a literature roll. And it just on the money.
Perhaps because this is profoundly unusual and you're at the limit of what your sanity is allowing you to perform, but you focus and you use your old skills, your honed, professional, day-to-day skills of what you love. The passion drives everything that you're realizing. Now, the sea scripture. This is what you get. This is what you gather from your flick through. And I'm not going to lie. It is like a sort of going down a tunnel. And the longer you go, you're thinking, there's no way in which Tam Phillips is still in that bathroom just waiting while you read. And yet at the same time, apparently, like two lovers who've spent a lazy afternoon together and have survived something terrifying, he hasn't yet emerged from the bathroom. And
it takes a while to do this hair. Like, it doesn't just fall out like this.
Exactly. It's work.
Yeah.
He's good. He's doing like a hot mask.
Yeah. He's got
exactly
cucumber slices on his eyes and he's charcoal rub.
And like a hair mask, like one of those.
Yeah. Like clay and
Yeah.
He's covered. It's like a mud bath in the
Not a husk, a hotness of a mask.
He's using some fen mud
Yeah.
Perfect.
Body wrap, yeah.
Nothing could go wrong.
No.
The Scripture of the Seas, your summary reads, one Captain Edmund Godswood, who in the October of 1618, realising his cargo was lost on the cliffs before Minehead, sought to abandon ship. In the hold, he had cargo from distant golden Chersonese, the Chersonese and guards of which refused to abandon the stuff.
He and his men challenged them and bade them leave. A battle ensued. The captain and second mate survived and took with them the central chest, leaving behind the other crates and boxes. They fled to lifeboats, hastily sent from shore, and to their amazement, the two men survived. The second mate, David Lemuel, lived nearby at North Kilve, and the captain, on settling of the account, travelled with him to Clarendon House. There he married Lucy Clarendon and settled, his son becoming Lord Clarendon. They made discovery through dreadful trial that the power of the Hydron bust, a living fountain of potent, magical change, could be contained by counter-magics, rude stuff of the land and the spirits beneath it. David Lemuel and Lucy had some small gift for such things. Using the office of the Clarendon estate, and with trade to the east, of a network of wise souls whose questions of Hyperborean arts might allow them to understand the strange gift they had uncovered, they thought to contain the thing in a cult of land, sea, and sky. Godswood died pursuing a peaceful understanding of the thing. The mate, Lemuel, more worryingly became transformed into a blessed state of her vision, a true son of Hydra and the stars. Godswood's sons, Edmund and Tomlin Godswood, came to inherit the Hydron bust. Edmund, Lord Clarendon, tries to keep the peace in the middle part of the tome, while his brother Tomlin, a gifted occultist, digs deep into the questions of magic. He writes of discovering an ancient wizard named Ibon and speaking with him in dreams. Edmund, Lord Clarendon, enlists the local cult of Saint Ursula, whose folk traditions are known to worship the shadow of the Sow, an ancient being of the Barrows. He appoints friends and trusted advisors in the new era of the adventure capitalists of the 1630s. He takes the role of Ursa the Bear. Caberlet, Strix the Owl. Paulson, Horn the Stag. Eskdale, the Boar. Wardlow, Crevice the Crayfish. Wendrove, Hare of the Fields, Swift-footed. And by Merrow of the Sea, Hydra's own Get, Lemuel. They stored the bust deep in the caves of a forgotten place. But the power of the sea's gift proves very great in such an alliance. Sacrifice is needed, and ever more blood to calm the beast that was the Get of Hydra's gift and the Shadow Walker's whispers beneath the earth. Soil and sea must meet. Such transformative powers cannot be sated by calves and stags forever. Only human blood will meet the charge. For a time, the ritual is yearly, then quarterly, then monthly. And so the time has come to change the art. The book finishes in a third hand, with a chilling note that the second Lord Samuel Clarendon, the present Lord Clarendon, must carry the burden of the bear, but fears the time is coming to let the gift go.
At which point, Tam Phillips puts his hand on your shoulder, Felicity Blake, and says,
Hey, sorry. Didn't mean to scare you. Just get the rest of this mud off. There we go. How you doing? What do you got there? You reading it?
Tam is completely naked and magnificent.
Flick my hair back.
How long do you...
It's been blow dry.
They've got a blow dryer in there.
Yeah, well, no, I've just been blowing on it. Took me ages.
That's why you've been in there so long. How long do you think you've been in that bathroom?
Not long. I mean, you were still asleep, so I took my time, but what? I don't know. 5-10 minutes? Something? Maybe I lost track of time. You okay?
Do you remember how we got here?
I mean, do I remember how we got here? Just to check.
You drove.
I did, yeah. So I still have the same sort of memory of the drive back.
You know that... in fact, actually, I think Blake drove, actually, because it's her car. She drove
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. You drove me here. Right?
She knew where the cottage was.
You said you knew this place, and we got back here. We got out of there.
Well, now, Steve, when I initially woke up, I thought it must be your place.
Well, no, I've never been here before.
Tam, I don't think this is anyone's place.
Well, what do you mean? You seem to know where... I mean, I assumed it was Richard's place, so... could it be Dickie's place? You know, Lance, I assumed it was one of his. I know he has other little places.
One of his cottages?
Yeah, I mean, he's got other places. The guy's loaded. I mean, I might be wrong. I assumed that's how you knew about it. You seemed to know where you were going, so I let you drive me.
I knew where I was going.
Well, it seemed so to me. Maybe it was just your confidence. I don't think I've been here before in my life. I mean, it's a lovely gaff. That's one of the words I've picked up since I...
Great.
I mean, you've been in the UK for, like 18 months or something, isn't it?
Yeah, I love those little colloquialisms. Jolly good. A jolly good cottage. You look like you've seen a ghost.
Do you also say lorry now as well?
Lorry, yeah, big time. Lorry drivers.
A jolly good cottage is how I like to spend my weekends.
I do think I say you look like you've seen a ghost.
Tam.
Yeah.
I've never been to this cottage before in my life, and I have no memory of coming here. And yet you tell me that I was the one who drove us here, with great confidence, which is fairly characteristic of me, and yet it seemed overstated given that I didn't know this place existed until I woke up in it this morning.
Yeah, that's certainly strange.
I think
I can't answer. Sorry,
I think something wants us to be here, Tam.
Well, that's unsettling, especially considering everything that happened last night. What thing? You mean...
Do you remember picking...
Something from Richard's?
From under the house? Something...
From under the house?
Do you have the disc, Tam?
Do you
remember the disc that we...
I left the disc. I'm not sure where the disc is.
Where are your trousers?
Well, why should I put trousers on in my own house? I'll dress how I want.
Is it your house?
Oh, this is my bed. Yes.
What's going on, Tam?
You look confused. You came here of your own free will.
Something about his face seems different. He looks over to the window as he gestures. You came here of your own free will. And an aquiline quality, an almost Roman aspect. And you remember that intense feeling you had when you first met Richard Launceston.
What's wrong, Flick?
Dickie?
Do you not like it here?
His hair seems to have shortened. It's still that lovely golden colour, but it's now... It's Richard.
Dickie. Dickie, we were looking for you.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to worry you.
Well, where were you?
Well, I was in my home.
All manner of the most horrendous things happened, Dickie.
Are you sure? I mean, I know there was some substances floating around. This disc you talk of, where's that now? You were looking for it, yes?
I don't know. I believe I saw a disc at your house.
You start to hear Tam singing in the shower.
Why don't we...
But Richard Launceston is still stood in front of you, naked.
Do you know what? I'm wondering now if perhaps I left it in the car.
Oh, really?
Why don't we go outside and have a look?
Why don't we? Good idea. Maybe I will. You should stay here for a moment.
He steps forward in front of you, and through like a rainbow spray of like an ocean wave, almost as if that wave has landed suddenly, and the door opens, and the spray of light and water, this cricket bat sweeps through Richard Launceston's face, and his chin goes up, and his face flies up, and you can see this fox going underneath his face, and he staggers back, and you have the capacity to leave the cottage, if you wish. You can hear Tam singing in the background, washing.
I've got my letter opener on me. Can I stab him?
You do, yes. Give us a brawl roll. I mean, he's not prone.
Can I have a brawl roll? Can I have an advantage? Because of the fact that he's just been smacked in the face.
I was going to say, I'll give you a bonus. Because he's not prone, but he's definitely involved.
Just snarling and rainbow-blooded.
Yes, that is a pass. Ooh. No, it's just a pass. But
that's all you needed, though, right? How much damage do you do?
This is with.
It's your +1, isn't it? 1d4 +1, isn't it? Something.
My dagger, right? 1d4.
Or is it just 1d?
So yeah, I think it's just 1d4 if it's my dagger.
1d4.
Oh, only one.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
1 damage is enough. You pierce, and it's like he smiles for a moment, and perhaps there's a quip. I don't know.
Oh, that may well be in post.
And then hands start to come out of the wound, covered in golden rings, and they're reaching for you. And the cottage begins to sort of collapse around.
I run out of the door.
You run, and you, for the briefest of moments, you glimpse.
Come back, Flick. Let me give you a hand.
What Josie Arundel... Exactly.
That'll do.
There it is. And you glimpse what Josie Arundel can see, and you realise that everything that you know, Josie Arundel knows. And everything that Josie Arundel knows has been spoken aloud to Charlie Westenra, Christopher Caldwell, and Max Davenant. It's almost like there's this sort of colloquy of voices going on. Like, kind of, your heads are back, and you're going... But actually, it's all the knowledge of what you are, and what you know, and what you are seeing, and it's all just coming out. And there's this quartet.
So if you could just do that for us.
And you're very conscious that behind you, the hair unravels underneath Julia's head. And Julia's head is just there, and her mouth is open, and it goes... And you see that there's a fifth figure of Lilith Bayard stood there, but decapitated, and under one arm is her head going... And Blake, it expands like melting film tape. And the ink runs off the page. take a quick break.
Sure.
And come back to 1684.
Fucking hell.
Thank you so much,
hell.
Dan, Dom, for bearing witness, and of course, you, Danann.
Lovely.
I was like, oh, me and Danann can have a nice little scene.
Yeah. Not so much.
Nearly a sex scene.
Nearly. It's one of the closest moments we've ever come, if you pardon the expression.
Ironically.
Although, actually, there's one where we went further, didn't we, Dom? You and I have gone further.
That's a story for another time.
I do remember that.
Oh, what, in the as yet unfinished?
The Innsmouth tapes.
Oh, the Innsmouth tapes. Oh, God, yeah. Fucking hell.
Can't wait for that.
That was horrific.
Sauce. Pure sauce.
Pure sauce.
I'll be 2 minutes.
Good grief.
Handout 1 and the Sea Scripture handout. I think that's everything that you'd already got. Brilliant. This is our last chance for checking children are asleep, drinks. Everyone happy?
All the children are asleep here.
Any... dark.
Please put your chairs into the upright position and fold up
If you
upright
could
table.
put your chairs into the upright position.
Brace.
Make sure your seatbelts are fastened.
Just, we'll go over to your pilot. You'll go over to your pilot now.
Cabin crew clear for landing.
In which case... Oh, something's happening. What?
We're just going to be held on the tarmac for a couple of hours. Sorry about this. There's a lot of traffic around Heathrow tonight, but the weather's going to be really nice. It's going to be about
Really convincing.
18 degrees,
Really terrifyingly convincing.
light wind, but not affecting the temperature.
Time at our destination is 3 in the morning when we hope to be concluding the scenario.
We've got a good wind behind us, but unfortunately, the entire economy sector is on fire.
Yeah. We'll be landing in Modular Grange in just half an hour. Please remember to set your sundials back to 1684.
For now, I like this. So Tam Phillips, I imagine, Mrs. Elise Farravale, ideally, Rafe Launceston, maybe, potentially, Felicity Blake, for now. Brilliant. So, unexpectedly, I think we could all agree, we join Felicity Blake as she wakes in brushed cotton sheets. Her head is on the pillow. Afternoon light, and you know you can tell. Too good. Her head is on the pillow,